college, which means that there are very limited options at the top of the draft for teams in need of a quarterback. So with the news that Dante Moore is out, that could slide Ty Simpson up into the number 2 spot if the Jets are desperate for a quarterback. He could fall, who knows? But it takes one pawn off the chessboard. So I had you guys make predictions of what you believe the Browns quarterback room will look like in 2026. We have Deshaun Watson on the board. We have Shedeur Sanders. There's Dylan Gabriel. There's insert rookie X. There's insert free agent or trade partner X. So guys, and Tyvis, I want to start with you because you haven't started on a topic today. What do you think the Browns quarterback room will look like in 2026?
The Cleveland Browns are facing their biggest quarterback crisis in years. What we've just uncovered about their 2026 QB room will shock every Browns fan watching this video. The decisions made in the next few months could define this franchise for the next decade. Let's dive into the chaos. What's up, football fans? The Browns quarterback situation heading into 2026 is absolute madness. And today we're breaking down everything you need to know. From Deshaun Watson's massive contract to potential draft prospects and free agency targets, we're covering it all. Stick around until the end because we'll reveal the most likely scenario that Cleveland's front office is planning right now.
I'll tell you, if I, based on the information I have, right, I'm not a scout. I don't look at these quarterbacks, and I'm not sure like that one of these long shots is going to be any good. So if we're up to me right now, my quarterback room would be Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson. Well, no, I'm sorry. If we're up to me, Deshaun Watson would be gone. If we're up to me,
they could do it. They could figure that out.
It would be Shedeur Sanders, a veteran out there, not Deshaun Watson, and then whatever. Bailey Zappi is my third guy. But what the Browns should do, since I think they're not going to cut Watson, is they should just go. They should get rid of Dylan Gabriel. There's no point in being. I'm sure he'd love to be gone.
Let's address the elephant in the room, Deshaun Watson. The Browns are stuck in one of the worst contract situations in NFL history. Watson's fully guaranteed $230 million deal runs through 2026, and his performance has been nowhere near the expectations. The 2024 and 2025 seasons showed us a quarterback struggling with consistency, injuries, and adapting to Cleveland's offensive system. Here's the harsh reality. The Browns owe Watson approximately $92 million in 2026. That's not a typo. Even if they want to move on, the dead cap hit would be absolutely devastating to their salary cap flexibility. So what are Cleveland's options? Option 1, keep Watson as the starter and hope for a miraculous turnaround. This seems unlikely, given what we've seen over the past 2 seasons. The Browns have a championship-caliber defense and strong offensive weapons, but they need elite quarterback play to compete. Option 2, bench Watson and eat the contract while developing a younger quarterback. This is financially painful, but might be necessary if the team wants to remain competitive. You can't waste the prime years of Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, and Nick Chubb waiting for Watson to figure things out. Option 3, trade Watson. The problem? His contract makes him virtually untradeable. What team would take on that money for a quarterback who hasn't performed at a Pro Bowl level since 2020? The front office is in a nightmare scenario, and the decisions they make this offseason will ripple through the franchise for years to come. Beyond Watson, let's examine who else might be in Cleveland's quarterback room in 2026. The backup situation. The Browns need a legitimate backup quarterback who can step in if Watson goes down or if the team decides to make a change. Looking at the current roster and potential free agents, Cleveland has several paths forward. They could look at veteran free agents who've proven they can manage games, names like Jacoby Brissett, who's familiar with the organization, or other journeyman quarterbacks might be options. However, the Browns need more than just a game manager. Developmental prospects. The Browns might also look to draft a quarterback in the mid to late rounds, someone they can develop behind the scenes while Watson plays out his contract. The key question is, does Kevin Stefanski's system require a specific type of quarterback? The answer is yes. Stefanski's offense works best with a mobile, decision-making quarterback who can execute play action effectively and make quick reads in the passing game.
About that at length, I think.
Of the 8 teams left, 7 of the 8 quarterbacks were drafted with the 12th overall pick or higher. And the 8th was the Mr. Irrelevant.
Now, you can't, it's sort of like the Nick Chubb 20 carries thing, right? Just because you take a quarterback up there, you can't.
Of course not.
Just then take Ty Simpson.
Right.
You know,
yeah,
so
right.
you can't. Yes. But it is funny to me that only the Browns, we already talked about, only twice in 25 years have they taken a quarterback in the top 20. The team that can't find a quarterback anywhere, that's tried to do it the unconventional way for 26 years now, and hasn't had any luck doing it. Everybody else takes quarterback at the top of the draft and figures that out, and off we go.
Now let's talk about the 2026 NFL Draft and how it could reshape Cleveland's quarterback future. Top QB prospects. While we're still early in the evaluation process, several college quarterbacks are generating serious buzz for the 2026 draft class. The Browns' draft position will depend heavily on their 2025 season performance, but they need to be prepared for any scenario. If Cleveland finishes with a losing record, they could find themselves in position to draft a franchise quarterback. Names to watch include top college prospects who fit the modern NFL mold: strong arms, mobility, quick processing, and leadership qualities. Trading up scenarios. Here's where things get interesting. If the Browns believe they've found their franchise quarterback, would they trade up to get him? Given Watson's contract situation, this seems risky, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Trading up would require giving up significant draft capital, possibly multiple first-round picks. For a team that needs to build around their quarterback, this could set the franchise back even further. However, if you nail the quarterback pick, everything else falls into place. Mid-round value. Alternatively, Cleveland could look for value in the 2nd through 4th rounds. History shows us that franchise quarterbacks can be found outside the 1st round. Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, Dak Prescott, and Brock Purdy are all examples of mid to late round success stories. The Browns' scouting department needs to identify a quarterback with upside who can develop within their system, even if he's not a day one starter. The 2026 free agency market could provide Cleveland with some intriguing options, depending on which quarterbacks hit the market. Veteran stopgaps. If the Browns decide to move on from Watson, they might target a veteran quarterback who can stabilize the position for 1 or 2 seasons while they develop a younger player. This strategy minimizes risk while keeping the team competitive. Potential names could include quarterbacks in their early 30s looking for a chance to start, or former starters who've been backups and want one more opportunity to lead a team. The Browns have the weapons on offense to make any decent quarterback look good. The bridge quarterback concept. This approach has worked for several teams recently. You bring in a veteran on a short-term deal who can mentor a young quarterback while keeping the team competitive. Think Ryan Fitzpatrick's various stops, or how the Steelers manage their quarterback situation post-Ben Roethlisberger. Cleveland has everything except the quarterback: elite defense, solid offensive line, talented receivers, and a good running game. A bridge quarterback could keep them in playoff contention while the next generation develops. Contract considerations. With Watson's deal on the books, the Browns have limited salary cap flexibility. Any free agent signing would need to be cost-effective, which means Cleveland probably can't afford a top-tier free agent quarterback even if one becomes available. Let's talk about the pressure on Cleveland's decision-makers. Andrew Berry's legacy. General Manager Andrew Berry made the Watson trade and signed off on the massive guaranteed contract. His job security likely depends on how this situation resolves. Berry has made many good moves for the Browns, building a talented roster, but the Watson decision overshadows everything. Berry needs to find a solution that keeps the Browns competitive while managing the financial constraints. It's possibly the most difficult challenge any GM has faced in recent NFL history. Owner involvement. The Haslam family has been patient, but even their patience has limits. They invested heavily in Watson with the expectation of immediate results and championship contention. The 2026 season could be a breaking point if significant changes aren't made.
Quarterback room be Shador Sanders, Deshaun Watson. Well, no, I'm sorry. If we're up to me, Deshaun Watson would be gone. If we're up to me,
They could do it. They could figure that
it
out.
would be Shador Sanders, a veteran out there, not Deshaun Watson, and then whatever. Bailey Zappi is my third guy. But what the Browns should do, since I think they're not going to cut Watson, is they should just go. They should get rid of Dylan Gabriel. There's no point in being. I'm sure he'd love to be gone. He don't want to
for
be here.
sure.
So trade Dylan Gabriel for a 7th-round pick.
Based on everything we've discussed, let's outline the most realistic scenarios for Cleveland's 2026 quarterback situation. Scenario 1. Watson redemption arc. Watson finally stays healthy, rediscovers his Houston form, and plays at an MVP level. The offensive weapons around him, combined with a dominant defense, lead the Browns to playoff success. This is the best-case scenario, but feels increasingly unlikely based on what we've seen. Probability, 20%. Scenario 2. Veteran competition. Cleveland brings in a veteran free agent to compete with Watson. The competition pushes both quarterbacks, and whoever performs better in training camp and preseason gets the starting job. This gives the Browns options and an insurance policy. This scenario makes the most sense from a team-building perspective. It doesn't require significant draft capital, manages the salary cap reasonably, and gives Cleveland the best chance to win now. Probability, 40%. Scenario 3. Draft and develop. The Browns draft a quarterback in 2026, sit him behind Watson for a year, and prepare for a transition in 2027. This kicks the can down the road, but sets up the franchise for long-term success. The rookie learns the NFL game without pressure, and Cleveland maintains competitiveness with their current roster. Probability, 30%. Scenario 4. Complete rebuild. The Browns decide to rip off the Band-Aid completely. They bench Watson, start a young quarterback, draft pick, or cheap free agent, and focus on rebuilding around a new franchise quarterback. This wastes elite defensive players' prime years, but might be necessary for long-term success. Probability, 10%. If you're a Browns fan watching this, here's what you should prepare yourself for. The 2026 season will be pivotal for this franchise. The quarterback situation will dominate every conversation, every press conference, and every game analysis. The pressure on Watson will be immense, and the scrutiny on the front office will be relentless. Expect changes, whether it's bringing in competition, drafting a quarterback, or making a dramatic mid-season switch. The status quo can't continue. The Browns have too much talent to waste another season with quarterback uncertainty. The good news? Cleveland's roster is built to compete. The defense can keep them in every game, the offensive line can protect whoever's under center, the receivers and running backs can create explosive plays. If the Browns get even above-average quarterback play, they're legitimate playoff contenders. The bad news? Finding that quarterback play is the million-dollar question, or in this case, the $92 million question. The Cleveland Browns' 2026 quarterback situation is arguably the most fascinating storyline heading into the next NFL season. With Deshaun Watson's massive contract, potential draft prospects, and free agency options all in play, the front office has difficult decisions ahead. Will Deshaun Watson finally live up to the enormous investment? Will Cleveland draft their quarterback of the future? Will a veteran free agent save the franchise? We'll be watching closely as this story develops throughout the offseason. What do you think the Browns should do? Drop your opinions in the comments below. Should they stick with Watson, draft a quarterback, or go all in on a free agent? Let's discuss. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Browns quarterback situation, hit that subscribe button for our channel. Your support motivates us to keep bringing you the best NFL analysis and breaking down the biggest stories in football. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update, and check out our other videos for more in-depth coverage of your favorite teams. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.